Do you know that you really are more than you are?
Yes.
How much we limit ourselves, and we don't need to. Because whose image and likeness are we made in?
God.
And what is God?
Look.
Unlimited. Unlimited. More than we can think and ask. So we are more than we ever thought we could be. And we get to step into that. Thank you, Alicia. My talk today is following our theme of gifts, the gift of living fully. So are you living your life fully?
Yes.
I know Marie is. How about the rest of you? Are you living your life fully? Because it's your choice. Do you spread your wings and rise above like Alicia sang? Do you spread your wings and rise above any kind of limitation or doubt that you put on yourself or others try to put on you? Because you can rise above that. You don't have to be limited by what somebody else is telling you. Did you get that information from Colleen's reading today? Are you downloading somebody else's software onto the computer of your mind and it slows things down? Maybe it's even a virus. So we get to choose how it is we're going to live. I get to choose if I'm going to move this forward. It is perfect. I even have the thing plugged in. So you're alive, but are you living? Are you really living here? What are you thinking about life? Are you enjoying it? Don Miguel Ruiz wrote the 4 Agreements. And Don says, action is about living fully. And that's what we're talking about today, living fully. He says, inaction is the way we deny life. Inaction is sitting in front of the television every day for years because you're afraid to be alive and to take the risk of expressing who you are. Expressing what you are is taking action. Are you taking action in your life?
Yes.
Or are you sitting in front of the TV? I can tell you that's not Marie.
I don't have a TV.
See, you're not sitting in front of it. Marianne Williamson says, we do not heal the past by dwelling there. We heal the past by living fully in the present. So to live fully, we have to be in the present. We get to be right here, right now. Not tied to the past, fretting over what happened, or trying to figure out how to make that different, because it's the past. You're not going to be able to make it different. We live in the present moment. By being in the present moment, this is where our power is. We can worry about the future if we want, but that's not going to do us any good because it isn't going to change anything. How we live right here and right now is what's going to change our life. That's what's going to make a difference for us. And so that's what we get to do. Take action every day. This can be something as simple as holding the door open for someone, or something more, like changing jobs or moving to a new city. What kind of action do you need to take today to get yourself living fully right here, right now, in the present moment? That's what you have power over, is the present moment. Is there anything else that we should be doing? Take action so that we can make a difference. If you want something you've never had, how many people here want something they've never had? Well, then guess what? You have to do something you've never done. We have to break out of the ruts of our lives, and that could be a rut of thinking or a rut of action that we do, staying in our comfort zone, we would say. Break out of that so that we can live fully, and that helps you be present when you're walking on new territory, when you're trying new things. You're really present, aren't you? You're heightened awareness. You're walking outside. You might be looking for the snake. When you hear the twig snap under your feet, you're going to look around, aren't you? So when you're trying something new, it heightens our awareness. I think I have one more. My favorite quote for the week: life is like a 10-speed bicycle. Most of us have gears we never use. How many people here have a 10-speed or have at some point had a 10-speed bicycle? And how many of you used all 10 gears? Marie, the only one I would expect. When we use all the gears, we have a much smoother life. We can live fully. The problem with most of us is we're afraid to try a new gear. We're afraid of how to change the gear. I'll be riding my bicycle, and if I change the gear, maybe the chain is going to fall off. And I'm certainly not going to know how to put it back on. So we live doing the same thing over and over, year after year, rather than making a change because it's what we're comfortable with. But if we don't change gears, life becomes more difficult for us. If you're going up a hill on your bicycle, now metaphysically we would be talking about having a little challenge in life here, going through a hard time, a diagnosis, a job loss, whatever it might be, we need to switch gears. Because if we'll switch gears, have a different thinking, live life a little differently, it'll be so much easier for us. But what gear do we stay in? And are we willing to move to a different gear and give it a try? Life is one grand experiment, and we get to experiment with life. Ernest Holmes, our founder, talked about the laboratory of life and how we could move into life and try new things. Experience that laboratory of life. See how it works for you and how much you enjoy it. This week I've been reading the Book of Joy. The Book of Joy is by the Dalai Lama and Bishop Desmond Tutu. The book is wonderful. I'm sure you'll hear more about it. But it describes their friendship. And I hadn't really realized this until I started reading the book, but their friendship being two very public, very spiritual men that people look at all the time and evaluate how they're living. And so the Book of Joy, they're together for a week, which was a rarity, and they're just loving one another. I loved the whole story about when they met, and Desmond Tutu got off the airplane, and the Dalai Lama came to meet him at the airport, which he usually does not do. But he wanted to have that time together. And so he gets off the airplane and he touches Desmond Tutu's face. And they were just loving one another with their looks and their thoughts and greeting. And then Desmond Tutu reached up and kissed the Dalai Lama on the cheek. And the Dalai Lama froze and pulled back. And Desmond Tutu cackled. And so he kissed him again. He said, "You haven't experienced a lot of kisses in your life. You need to have more kisses." And they both just cracked up laughing. And that's the relationship that they have. And they call one another to deeper love, to more consciousness. But in the Book of Joy, they agree on 3 pillars of joy. So the first pillar here is the ability to reframe a situation more positively. We would say in Science of Mind to look for the good in this situation. The second pillar is the ability to experience gratitude. I hope you've heard me saying the last few weeks that in everything we need to give thanks. Not just in the things we like or call good, but in every experience we should give thanks. That attitude of gratitude certainly opens up more living for us. And then the third point that they agree is choosing to be kind and generous. Do you choose to be kind and generous? That is a big difference in how people can live. Are you just reacting to what's happening, and is that reaction one of fear? Or are you choosing love to be what you're putting out in the world? So it's our choice what we're going to do. If we are choosing to be kind and generous, then everything we speak speaks life to ourselves and to others. We're uplifting people with our words. We're encouraging them. If you're not speaking life to people, if you're saying things that are unkind, then they may shrink from life. And if someone says that to us, we may shrink from life. We limit our life then. And this is about living fully, expanding ourselves to new experiences. So that's what we want to do. Today we celebrated our graduates from our 3 classes. Woohoo! That's exciting. These people are not sitting in a rut. They're experiencing life in new ways. They're getting out to see, how can I raise my consciousness? How can I change my thinking to be even better? How can I experience joy, see the positive, be generous, live from love? And they do that by training their minds through classes. We'll have more classes starting in January. Don't worry, it's not too late. So, call yourself, allow yourself to be more than what you've been in the past. Many people explore ways to use a new gear, if you will. So I just want to mention a few people here because there are so many of you that do so many things. Diana Curran just wrote her book and got it published. Woo! You can see her details, but what an exciting thing to accomplish and totally new for her. So stepping into a new gear, trying something else. Virginia and Casey Steinhardt had their hearts set on buying land and building a house. It fell through. Actually, it didn't fall through. They got out, but they doubled the price and all kinds of craziness. So now Virginia has found the perfect house. Casey had to come home because Virginia bought him a house while he was gone. True? Now, Virginia is not just sitting around. She told me when the contractors come, they're not leaving the work site. They're going to stay here till this is done. Well, they've just blown out all the walls, all the windows and everything in the house because they're taking this house and revamping it to make their dream home. They're going to have acreage for the horses. They're going to have a water for the trees. So trying a new gear, doing something new here. You heard Alicia say that she has just quit her day job recently to go into music full time. Marie Soderberg. Marie thinks we don't know anything about her, but I want you to know that Marie is such a teacher and such a mentor. You may see her enthusiasm for life, but what I know is she's giving life to so many other people. Marie does a lot of work with homeless people, and she loves them, and she mentors them, and she sets them up so that they can have their own business And she doesn't just set them up in business and walk away. She's right there in the thick of things with them, mentoring them so that she makes sure that they are successful. She doesn't want any cheap stuff here. She wants to make sure her people are successful so that they can support themselves. Now that's not a handout, that's a hand up. Lisa Guilfoyle is in a new phase of her life. She's got a new gear going. She's being trained and preparing herself for a new career so that she can have more control over her time, not have so much travel time, and have a new experience of life, supporting herself in a new way. I could go on and on here, but you get the gist of this. Are you called to try a new gear in life? Or maybe 2 new gears, or 3? Because on your 10-speed bicycle of life, there are lots of gears. How many are you going to use? It's done as you believe. So if you will believe that you have more gears and you can try new things, then you'll be able to do that. And it will make a difference. In the Bible, John 10:10, Jesus says, I come that they might have life and have it more abundantly. You see, Jesus wanted people to live fully, to have and experience the greatest life they could. Are we doing that? Or are we shrinking from life? Are we sitting in front of the TV because we're afraid to take action and be who we're really came here to be? I have a couple more people I want to share with you that live life in many, many gears. Bob Collins has been the president of our board for years. He is an example to me of living life in so many different gears. Bob's been on our board. He is a practitioner. He has been putting out the signs at both ends of Canterbury Parkway every Sunday morning. They weren't out this morning because Bob wasn't here. He had to work today, and nobody else wanted to put out signs. Are you being called to put out signs on Sunday morning for us? Bob wants to step back from some of these things to focus on his spiritual work and being a practitioner. He also comes in after he's put out signs. He's in here setting up the chairs. They look a little different today because I got to set them up. Like, how did Bob do that? He puts up the screen. This sucker is heavy, I can tell you. So he puts up the screen. He helps get out the music equipment. He helps set up the tables for fellowship and the source table and carry coffee pots. I got to do this today. I got to be Bob. When the ladies fill up the coffee pot in the kitchen, it's too heavy for them to carry out to the table so you can get coffee out here. So Bob has been carrying the coffee pot out and sitting it on the table for them. There's many of these roles that you might be called to step into. It could be a new gear for you to do and help. Colleen DeVries is another one. Lives life using lots of gears on her bicycle of life. She not only works hard in her job, but she has been on our board for years. She's a practitioner to hold that spiritual consciousness and space for people. She, on the board, has been the one that has overseen all of our contracts to keep us legal in everything we're doing. And we have a good number of contracts that we keep going. Musicians all the time, the school where we live, different things that are happening that we have to have contracts for. And so Colleen has been overseeing all of that and signing those contracts to keep us moving. She works with the food bank here. She is looking for ways to step back, to experience some new gears. See, as she resigns from the board, she's not just stepping down to have a life of leisure. I know she's not planning to lay around and eat bonbons and watch TV. Colleen is looking at going to ministerial school to become a chaplain. Her goal in life is to serve people. And there are many ways that she wants to serve, new gears to try. So that's exciting. So our last and final person I want to talk about, he wins my 10-speed award, is Reverend Phil. Now, Reverend Phil isn't out here today because he's in teaching the children, but Reverend Phil is our youth minister. Last weekend, he wasn't here because he was at Mile High having an overnight weekend with the kids, with the teens, sleeping on the floor, I found out. That was rough on him. It'd be rough on me too. He oversees our curriculum for our kids program. He works with encouraging teachers, people to volunteer to be teachers with the kids program, making sure they have what they need to teach with the kids. He does set up and tear down, much like Bob. Phil's in here helping with the music equipment, the soundboard, the sound checks, getting chairs set up, setting up for the children's program. He's always got something that he's doing here. He puts out the flag at the front of the school entrance here to let people know that we're here. He helps with many 12-step groups here in the local area to support his own recovery and to help others recover. Reverend Phil is an avid reader. He's always expanding his mind and doing more to help his consciousness. He teaches classes here at CSL Parker. He taught our self-mastery class. He volunteers for the Neighborhood Network. He does repairs in people's homes through the Neighborhood Network. On top of all that, and he has his own construction company because that's how he provides for himself and his family. On top of all that, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a friend, he's a spiritual guide, and he is a practitioner. He participates in many of the Colorado ministers' meetings to network and improve himself. He volunteers at the Science of Mind Archives up in Golden and does work for them to help preserve the legacy of Science of Mind in Ernest Holmes. But the thing that Phil is most excited about, and will be happy to talk to you and explain, is that he is facilitating groups for the Bullying Recovery Center. And Phil has this idea, this vision, that we can have chapters of the Bullying Recovery Center in all kinds of local areas, that it can move out into the state, it can move out through the country. And he wants to see that growth to help other people, to help people have a better experience in life. You see, living life fully is not just staying within yourself. It's reaching out and doing stuff for others. So as we look at the end of this year and the beginning of 2019, many people would say it's a new year, it's a new you. Trying to get you to go to the gym, right? I think we should say it's a new year, it's a new gear. What are you willing to step in and do in 2019 to improve your life, to help you live life fully? So your homework is to pray about what Spirit would have for you to experience as a new year in this new year. See what it is that you can do. I have a vision for CSL Parker. And my vision is that in this new year of 2019, we're going to have many groups and ways to connect so that it's not just on Sunday mornings. I see us having discussion groups in people's homes. I see us having book studies where we'll take 4 or 5 weeks and read a book together and study, discuss it chapter by chapter. I see game nights where we can have board games, we can have card games, we can have all kinds of games that could help people connect and play. Just to have fun together. To have meals together. To get to know one another. You know, when I came here, we went through a series of getting to know you dinners. I thought it was for you to get to know me. What I learned in the very first dinner is this is about you getting to know each other. Was that an education? And guess what? We're continuing to grow, so we need to continue those kinds of dinners so that we can get to know each other and experience each other in new ways. I'd love to see us have a drumming circle. I think that would be great. And one of the things that I've held as a vision since I came here almost 2 years ago, this will come about. That's prophesied. Is having a Wednesday night meditation that's not just open to us, but open to the entire community. I would love to have that so that people could come like maybe 5:30 on their way home from work and meditate for 30 minutes and then go on home. Because you know, once you go home and start fixing dinner, you're not going to want to come back out. But if you can meditate with a group from 5:30 to 6, then you can go home and have your whole evening. How great would that be? And a way that we can reach out to the bigger community. Okay, we're over time. I'm sorry. Give me one more slide. Life is like a 10-speed bicycle. Are you going to use all your gears? Are you going to try to find new ways of experiencing life and living fully? It's your choice. And I know you'll make the right choice for you. Let us pray. We are grateful for the life that each of us has, for the enthusiasm and joy, for the Spirit of God that is within each one of us. Unlimited source. So much that we can do, so much that we can experience. And we say thank you, God. I just bless each person here that as we move into this week, we consider new ways to experience life even more fully. And I say thank you, God. I bless each of us. And together we seal this and say, and so it is.